Over 2,500 years ago, in the vast steppes of Central Asia, a queen's vengeance would change the course of empires. Her name was Tomyris, a warrior ruler who stood against Cyrus the Great, one of the most powerful kings in history. And she didn't just defeat him, she ended his life in a way so brutal that ancient historians still shuddered to write it down. It was around 530 BC. The great Persian Empire, led by Cyrus the Great, stretched from the Mediterranean to the edges of India. Cyrus was unstoppable. City after city, kingdom after kingdom fell before him. His empire was the largest the world had ever seen. But to the northeast, beyond the borders of Persia, lived a fierce, nomadic people known as the Massagetae, riders of the steppe, warriors who lived under the endless skies of what is now Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. Their ruler was Queen Tomyris, a woman of striking intelligence, courage, and authority. Unlike the queens of other lands, Tomyris led armies herself. She fought beside her warriors, dressed in armor, her bow and sword always within reach. The Massagetae were known to be wild and free. They would never bow to a foreign king. And that is exactly what Cyrus wanted to change. When Cyrus set his eyes on Tomyris' kingdom, he tried diplomacy first. He sent envoys to her, proposing marriage. But this was no romantic offer. It was a political trick. Cyrus wanted to join their kingdoms by marriage, only to claim her land for Persia. Tomyris saw through it. She refused the proposal and warned him, "Rule your own people, Cyrus, for I will not submit to you, nor shall my people." Insulted but intrigued by her defiance, Cyrus prepared for war. Before battle, however, Tomyris sent a final message to him. "Do not think that I am afraid. If you truly wish for battle, come to my lands, and we shall meet you there. But if you refuse, I will cross the river and bring the fight to you." Cyrus accepted the challenge, but not with honor. He decided to use deception. Cyrus set a trap. He ordered his men to leave behind a lavish feast, tables covered with wine, food, and treasure, and then retreat as if in panic. Soon, Tomyris' son, Spargapeses, who led part of the Massagetae army, came upon the Persian camp. They saw the abandoned riches and the wine, a drink unfamiliar and dangerously strong to the nomads, who were used to fermented mare's milk instead. After feasting and drinking, the Massagetae were overcome with drunkenness. That's when Cyrus struck. The Persians ambushed them, killing many and capturing Spargapeses alive. When Tomyris learned that her son had been taken, she was devastated. But her grief turned to fury. She sent a message to Cyrus. "Glutton for blood, you destroy my son with your deceit, not in open battle. Give him back to me, and I will forgive you. If not, I swear by the sun, I will give you your fill of blood." Cyrus refused. Spargapeses, realizing the trap he had fallen into. Now nothing could stop Tomyris' rage. She gathered her entire army, determined to avenge her son. The two forces met in a massive battle, one that the Greek historian Herodotus described as more violent than any fought among barbarians. The Massagetae fought with unmatched ferocity. They rode swift horses, firing arrows from a distance before clashing with swords and spears. The Persians, though disciplined, were no match for the fury of Tomyris's warriors. By the end, Cyrus the Great, the conqueror of Babylon, the founder of Persia, lay dead on the battlefield. Tomyris had kept her promise. What happened next became one of the most legendary acts of vengeance in ancient history. Tomyris ordered Cyrus's body to be found. When they brought it to her, she looked at the lifeless emperor, the man who had stolen her son and countless lives before him. According to Herodotus, she cut off his head and placed it into a skin filled with human blood, saying, "I warned you that I would give you your fill of blood, and now I have kept my word." Whether this act was symbolic or literal, we may never know, but it immortalized Tomyris as one of history's fiercest queens, a woman who defeated the mightiest empire of her time through strength, strategy, and sheer will. Today, Tomyris is rarely mentioned beside the names of great ancient rulers, yet her story stands as a symbol of resistance and justice. In a world ruled by men and empires, she refused submission. She fought not for conquest, but for honor and vengeance, and in doing so, she became the queen who ended an empire's greatest conqueror. Tomyris of the Massagetae, the warrior queen who made even Cyrus the Great bleed.